Pick a limb, settle in, let the story begin. Make yourself home while we wander and roam. We stay on one branch or we leap to the next, following the trail through the simple and complex. Just father and son, having some fun. Follow the trail, see where it leads. A little wonder is all that you need. Chasing the light on a squirrely ride.
Hi, folks.
Welcome to Squirrel Trails. There may be music, there may not be.
Eventually.
We can't figure that out.
We don't know.
Yeah. But yeah, so real quick, who we are. Just because, again, we're getting back in the groove of this after a 7-year hiatus.
Did we have a groove before?
What was that?
Did we have a groove before?
I don't know if we ever had we had a groove. I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, it was. It was definitely was a route.
It was more of a water slide than a groove.
Yeah. Again, water going down a path changes direction,
Yes.
and it can cause different direction just depending on the water flow. So yeah, so running rivers kind of change everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, again, that's who we are. Again, not very consistent, all over the place, and no script, basically.
Oh, yeah. Maybe he used to drive a truck. Now he's doing
Welding.
Okay.
Yep. And you used to be young, and now you're
Old.
You've been in IT for longer than IT's existed.
No, I don't even predate my field as an IT auditor, but that actually goes back a lot further than I thought. So I actually got a book on the history of EDP auditing.
Okay. Yep.
Who knew? And it actually goes back into the 60s and 70s.
You weren't born then?
I was born, but I wasn't doing any auditing at that point in time.
Yeah.
So, but I do predate microcomputers.
Yes.
I showed up before the PC showed up. I did really wanted to buy a TRS-80. So, all right, sorry.
What came first, the computer or you? Sorry.
According to the people I work, I came first.
Yes. Technically you did. But anyways, so yeah, that's who we are. So with that out of the way, how's your week been?
What was that? So anyway, wait a minute. I hadn't done Taekwondo for like a week and a half because special projects and such. I showed back up and I was really out of shape because you don't do stuff on a regular basis. It doesn't go well when you get to be my age, especially when the instructor wanted me to start working on trying to get a cartwheel down. Cartwheel? Yes. Yeah, she wants me to be able to do a cartwheel. She's 17 and may not have a good sense of reality.
I can maybe see you doing a combat roll, but...
Yeah, I can do a combat roll. I actually do a combat roll right now. I actually do a overhead safety roll, but it's essentially a combat roll.
So why would a cartwheel, why would you need to do a cartwheel?
So in Taekwondo, in the ATA Taekwondo for extreme, you're supposed to try to work in some kind of a gymnastics move because the idea is you're trying to show a lot of energy and a lot of core strength and physical ability.
But at your age, that is a combat roll. Okay, that's
my age written out of bed might be
walking up to the mat is
so that was her goal. I actually had a friend of mine told me, he said, hey, it's just putting one down, putting two hands down, and then roll over your left shoulder and let the forearm make sure that potentially that's how you break your roll. And I said, so I break, that was my comment, is that where I break the forearm? And he says, well, that's an option. But at any rate, this is a lot of what we're going to end up talking about. But before we get there, because we're going to talk about aging and how much of that is really a mindset, and we'll use me as an example for that.
Yeah, can't use me.
Yeah, well, you're a bit of a mindset. But okay, so how has your week been?
My week's been good.
I don't know. You didn't. Did you pass? That was your test last week.
Maybe. I don't know. Be honest,
do you
it's been
know what
everything-
happened more than 4 days ago?
Yeah. So what day is today's Tuesday?
Yeah.
So I think it was. I don't know. So I didn't pass the
2-inch weld thing.
2-inch the pipe test for
Pipe test,
stick. I only did the test once, so I do have a
But it
chance.
did look really good.
It looked great. It looked great. And to be honest, there's only one small piece.
Yep.
One little
And
area.
for those of you that are following, he does have this posted on Facebook.
Yep, and Squirrel Trails Facebook page.
Yep.
So yeah, I think there may be a post on YouTube. If not, I'll put one there. But yeah, no. So it's just a little piece. So yeah, it was a little frustrating. But out of the entire class, only one person passed, which is normal.
Yeah. Okay. Because this is a really hard thing to do.
It's a really hard thing to do, and people don't get it right away.
Yep.
Especially people like me that has never touched a welder.
Yeah.
I haven't touched a welding machine ever before 8 weeks ago.
Yeah, before March 2nd.
March 2nd.
You'd never
Never even touched a welder. Yep. I don't think I've even moved one.
Yep.
Out of the way. So yeah. But yeah. So I mean, outside of the only I've done maybe. Yeah. No. I don't think I've ever. No. Not even in high school. Nope. But yeah. So now we're on TIG.
Okay. So what is TIG?
TIG is a.
We've got a lot of guys that are IT related and probably not up on welding.
For sure, yeah. So TIG is basically, I would consider it kind of like soldering.
Okay.
So, you're taking a tungsten tip and you're melting the metal together.
Okay.
Or you can use a filler rod and add metal to that weld. Either way is TIG.
So, weird question. What does TIG stand for?
Tungsten, basic tungsten tip.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know the whole word. Tungsten.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna.
I don't know.
Okay, this is in the book on metallurgy that I've been reading, so I should go look.
Yeah. We'll throw it up on screen.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's what it says. Okay. But yeah, no. So this has been week number 2.
Okay.
And I have a cert coming up maybe tomorrow.
Cool.
We'll see. And it's just a visual test. There's no bending. There's no it's just kind of
There's no stress test.
no stress test.
Yep.
It's just does it look good?
Okay.
And so yeah.
What is life except looking good?
You?
Ouch.
No. It's.
We'll talk later.
my bad. Oh, my head. But yeah, no. So it just But outside of that, yeah, just kind of that's all I'm doing.
Okay.
Been working too hard and welding away.
Okay.
So having fun.
We did introduce your daughter to archery yesterday.
Yes.
So she went out to Joad yesterday.
Yep.
So actual USAA archery thing, and part of a group now. So she is actively engaged on hitting the target with sharp objects.
Yeah.
Or as she puts it, violence.
But she won't go hunting.
No, we're not to the stage I want her to get. Nope.
She go turkey hunting.
No turkey hunting.
Yeah.
Nope.
Maybe for the next Thanksgiving. Yeah.
Okay. Moving right along.
But anyways, so you found an article.
I did find an article. Better yet, it's an article about a book.
Yay.
So I got to read about a book. Books are kind of my thing.
No, you only have a library.
Yeah, this is the downside. We do a lot of these in library study rooms. The scary part is we actually get started on time because I have to walk through several rows of books to get here, and I'm easily distracted by
100%.
almost any book.
Yeah.
So
And your library in the basement isn't big enough for us to record yet.
no, I actually have to probably get rid of some books to make that happen. 'Cause I've only got too many. Yeah, we won't. Let's just say there's 3 zeros.
There isn't a number that exists.
Yeah, I have a lot of books downstairs, and I don't want to look at how many I've got in my ebook thing. because that's even scarier.
And you complain about my DVD collection.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, back to where we're trying to get to. Although we may end up getting to that, because I also have an article about reading. So.
Oh, yeah, sure. Great.
Okay. The book is The 7 New Stages. Let me start over again. It's Your Aging Advantage, The 7 New Stages of Aging by Stuart, Kaplan, and Marcus Riley.
Okay.
The article I've got is called How to Use the Flicker Stage to Feel Younger and Age Healthier.
Okay.
So who knew the flicker was a stage?
What does flicker mean?
So flicker is changing your viewpoint. So you flick between the stages of aging. So one of the book.
Stages of aging?
Yes, so there's stages of aging. So you can be a young adult, you can be a mid-adult, a pre-transition. That was kind of interesting.
Okay.
So it's entertainingly enough, most of the stages are after 50. So the way these guys have done it is you've got young adult 25 to 40, mid-adult 30 to 60, and then we go into these sections. The next 5 sections are about people that are no longer young.
Okay.
So pre-transition, hey, I'm thinking about changing and thinking about retiring.
Okay.
In transition, I'm actually doing that thing called retiring. I'm settling in. I'm actually fully retired. I'm doing those things. I'm into, entertaining enough, supported living. So somebody's helping me, but I'm still staying active.
Okay.
And but I'm being supported in what I do. And then elder, which means in 85 plus. It doesn't mean like you're getting ready to die.
Okay.
It does mean that you're viewed more as a sage. You're supposed to be able to. You provide value to others
and
through your knowledge.
each stage is a flicker.
Well, each stage is a stage.
Okay.
But where you exist, you can flick between the groups because you're not necessarily. So, looking at this. So, and the book basically goes through this, is that it's not a linear path.
Okay.
So you're not obligated to follow this path. I mean, in prior views of aging, you were expected to go from one stage to another.
It's usually how aging works, but okay.
Okay.
I mean,
So can you get younger?
that's a good question.
So according to this, you can feel younger.
Yes.
So, and that's where this is going. That's actually your flickering between stages.
What's 70 to 90? What stage is that?
70 to 90 is supported living.
Aren't those the one that usually date like 20-year-olds? Is that a flicker stage?
Yeah, second time of your second stage of having a crisis. Yes, actually. Yeah. That's actually it's an interesting thought. I would guess if I start dating a 20-year-old when I'm my age, I am guessing I'm going to get in trouble with your mom.
Well, yeah, but yes, hopefully. But like, if you were single, isn't that what not most, but kind of
those that have money.
Yep.
And to do that, so yeah,
try to live young. I mean, it's just kind of
So and this
being groovy.
Okay, this goes back. Are we in a groove? Yes. Are you being groovy? So in the book, it really does talk about psychological position. Where are you at mentally? Okay. Where are you at socially?
Sure. Okay.
Physically?
Sure. Yep.
And these are and environmentally. I mean, those are 4 attributes, and all those feed into aging. So for me, if you look at the people that I work with, I work with a lot of people that are in their late 40s, 50s, early 60s. Yeah. Because we're pretty progressed into the career. Some of them younger. And they look at me going to Taekwondo events, competing, doing forward rolls, trying to figure out how I might be able to do a cartwheel.
Well, most didn't know your age, so.
That would be true. Kind of like, because I tell them, next year I move up to the 70-year-old range, because the ring that it's 70 plus. Yeah. And they're like, no. Yeah. And I went, yes, because I stay active. I do things that keep me younger.
So
there's some genes involved.
So you've been flickering for a while.
In so many ways. My boss would say I flicker when I show up at work. So, but where this book is going, it's a nice read. It's a very easy read. Is that you can bounce between those. So the question is, how do I feel? What can I functionally do? Because there are limitations on what you medically can and can't do as you've gotten older. And then how do I feel about myself? How do I engage? So for me, because I, in a Taekwondo studio where, no surprise, I'm the only oldest one there by 20 years, I have a couple of adults that are there. I take that back. We have another gentleman who is now a white belt, who is in his 60s.
And he's bringing a grandson?
He's bringing his grandson and his daughter.
Okay.
So all three there. And so, and this is one of the values that you get in, and this is one of those things that are a flicker stage, is hey, I can maybe postpone some of my retirement kind of stuff because I'm going to engage in younger activities. And I should be able to, based upon my view, I can perform in a younger fashion than my normal process might be.
So you've been flickering for a while. I mean, before Taekwondo, you were doing dance.
Yes, I was doing ballroom dance.
Ballroom dance. So so from what you've read of the article and everything, how in your mind, what changes have you seen? Like when you go into the dance floor or when you go onto the mat, what in your mind, what changes?
So a big part of where I go with this is, and just full honesty here, I got started with dance because I had depression, and mental health is in May this month that we're doing this is National Mental Health Month.
Yep.
And so I have massive depression, and dance helps me with that.
Yep.
And it works on your mind, it works on your energy. There's a touch as you're working with your partners. It's an appropriate touch.
Yep.
And you're doing those kinds of things. And so mentally, I'm engaged with people that are much younger than me.
So that's a great way to explain it. How did it feel? Again, so in your...
Again, I don't even think about my age.
Yeah, so you were just doing it.
I just do what I need to get done.
So you were flickering without even noticing you were flickering.
Absolutely, and that's the real value of this in the flicker, is that in that stage is that you simply move to a different state that you're just simply executing as a younger person.
Yeah.
A big part of that is a willingness to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
Because you're going to look older than a lot of folks. And that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
And so, now I'm the only one in my ring. I am not the only one that does at my age. Across ATA that does extreme and creative forms. Yeah. But by working those processes to say, I'm willing to get out there and do that, that keeps my mind younger.
So what do you feel before going onto the mat versus coming off the mat? What are you feeling to kind of...
So for me, initially, when I go in, surprise to no one who knows me, I get very concerned before I get on the mat because I don't think I'm going to do very well.
Yep.
I have...
You call me going, okay, we're going to talk about this. You're practicing in the hotel room?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm never feeling like I'm adequately prepared. But once I get on the mat and start moving, I don't even think about age. I don't think about anything else. I'm just going through the motions. To be honest, there was one time I got through, as I'm walking off the mat, I'm like going, yeah, there probably weren't too many actual Taekwondo moves in what I was doing, but it's there.
Yeah.
But you're just getting out, and I'm feeling young and energized. That's the real key, is I'm engaged, I feel young, I feel energized. It helps that I have some people that are in my studio that cheer me on.
Sure, definitely.
That are there,
Yep.
that, I'll be honest, the other guys in my ring don't have. But they take an interest in what I'm doing, and that helps me feel younger and engaged as well. So the key is, I don't even think about the limitations. I'm not thinking about getting hurt. I don't think about what's going on. I don't even necessarily think about how I'm going to look.
Yeah.
I'm going to go through this thing. I get through it. I do a forward roll. Time before last, I ended up doing a leaping forward roll because I didn't even know that was. I was like, I'm here, I'm going to do the roll. I just reach out and did the roll. So. I just didn't. I was fully extended when I did the roll. In fact, the point was they thought I was going to do a face plant. They thought he was going to go out and go boom. But I'm just. The value is at that age. I flickered into a much younger state.
Without even realizing it.
Not even realizing it. Now, to be honest, I do that a lot in life as I work because I
was just going to ask. So, can you flicker outside of an activity like that?
Oh, absolutely. You can. It's a mindset change. This says, before I do it at work, I'm by a bunch oldest guy in the group that I work with. But I'm engaging as if I were younger, but just knowledgeable. So, I could just, whatever, you guys go do your thing because I don't understand that technology. I'm unwilling to learn that. No, I'm going to stage, because I do take an approach. All of you may have heard this before that have listened to the channel, is that when you stop learning, you stop dying. You start dying.
You start dying,
That's because learning is one of those things. This is why we talked about reading.
Reading is good for you?
Yes, reading is actually good for you. And it's a part of the process of keeping yourself younger. But...
Well, then, crap. Well, I read terms of service. So does that count?
So,
privacy statements are fun to read. Not books, but just...
Okay, privacy statements are not fun to read.
They're very interesting.
Oh, wow. If you don't know, when we started the channel a while back, one of the ways that he stayed active when he was driving and staying engaged was he had a PDF audio player.
So I download a privacy statement terms of service for an app I was using on the phone, the hotel privacy statement terms of service, whatever I could find. Google's one, Facebook's one, YouTube's one. And I would just listen to it and
play it while you drove.
Because it gave me something to listen to, an engaging conversation to listen to. Better than radio, to be honest, or music.
Okay, even I'm not that off the wall.
I tried doing books on tape. Nope.
Because couldn't engage with it?
Couldn't engage it. Couldn't do the.
Okay.
Nope.
So one of the other articles I read tied to this was on aging was staying engaged with reading, because reading keeps your mind active.
Sure.
And in ways that video doesn't. So reading.
Well, how about audio?
Not as much, because it doesn't engage as much in your mind.
Okay.
But they were really drawing a distinction between video and books.
Okay.
And because when books, think about this, you're engaging, so audio would work with us now that I think about it, is in a book, you have to build the world in your head.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because unless you're reading picture books, and you've advanced beyond from reading picture books.
I have. Well, not very far, but yes.
So, not that graphic novels are a bad thing, because those are very popular, and I have some authors that I have regular books for that also do their books
100%,
and graphic novels. But being able to create the world in your head engages a lot more stuff.
Yeah.
And it keeps your mind more flexible. You can visualize the world in other ways. Actually, one of the challenges when I do pick up one of those that are a graphic novel, it doesn't look the way I wanted it to.
it changes the world.
That's not the way the person looks. Sorry.
So every time you read it, it's a different graphic novel?
It can't. So, actually, that's when Dresden Files first came out as a movie, as a television show, because I'd read all the books. It was like, close, but not quite.
Sure, yep. People did that with Harry Potter, too.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
So, but reading is really important, and that was to keeping your mind active and to helping you keep in those stages.
Does it matter what kind of books? Because, again, if you're reading Garfield, which definitely is way different than reading, 50 Shades of Grey.
So,
fun, cartoonish, serious romance. They're going to have different ways your brain thinks.
Yes. be
So
true.
does it
that's
matter
the scary
what
part,
type
'cause
of-
I don't read romance
No,
novels,
no,
just to be
no.
clear.
Sorry, sci-fi. Okay, so Garfield and Star Wars.
Yes, Star Wars, yes.
Sorry, Trek. My bad.
Okay, it's interesting. Yeah, see, this is May, so you better do Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars. Yeah, yep. I mean, yesterday
Fourth
was.
be- yeah, May the 4th be with
May the
you.
4th be with you.
Yes.
But so does it matter what kind of your book you're reading?
The
From what you've
article
seen.
didn't say that. I mean,
Okay, okay.
that's a great conversation, but that's be an interesting study to see how it is. But it is a concept that, I mean, the more that engage your brain, and absolutely honesty. I mean, if you're reading a Garfield comic, that's going to engage you a certain way.
Sure.
But if I'm reading Isaac Asimov, which is hard science fiction,
Yeah.
so there's actually science in there, that's going to engage my brain in other ways, and it's going to keep me younger in that. But I would make a case that more futuristic stuff keeps your mind more flexible and younger because you're not stuck in a given, and bias, people are going to yell at me. But if you're reading science fiction, you're actually framing a future thought that isn't tied to any given reality,
Okay.
to what it could be.
Sure.
So you're taking science and extending that out, and I would make a case that that's a good way to keep your mind younger.
Okay.
So,
Sure.
but again, now that being said, as we're rolling back to Flickr, the recognizing that there's, I mean, because as you get older, you do have to go through those stages. Somebody's going to make me retire at some point in time.
Maybe.
Maybe. Well, alternatively, yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah.
alternative.
Well, that's again. So this is where I mean, we've talked to you have coworkers that are retiring soon.
Yes.
Have retired in the past.
I've actually had some people that have retired and come back.
Yeah. Again, so this is that. What do they need to do? What kind of flickering are they doing after retirement?
And that's a really important point. That as we start looking at that is, after you retire and you move into that in transition or settled in stage,
Yeah.
there's no reason why you can't stay active. I mean, one of the things that I've kicked around is, do I want to create my own Taekwondo studio?
Yep.
Or club, as it would, because I wouldn't be able to run a large studio. I have no desire to run a large studio. But do something where I'm doing this. And it's finding those things that let you, whoever you might be, be active in the things you're interested in. Your mom does a lot of gardening. That's
Sure.
what
Yep.
and she loves gardening.
Yeah.
You can see in the springtime she moves and acts younger because she's engaged in those things that she's really enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's an important part of that Flickr component.
Now,
So-
if you're younger, like in your 30s and 40s,
Yep.
can you flicker to an older stage, or is it only going backwards?
That's a
I mean, so this is about. I mean, we're talking all about getting younger, but I mean, some of us want to be older faster. Maybe.
Yeah, see,
I mean,
well, let me turn it this way. Yes, you can probably flicker to an older age, but it might not be positive. Because if you start...
so that's a bad flicker. So is that...
Yeah. No, I mean, I take that
Retirement,
back. If you're going to flicker to where I want to retire and be settled in, so I'm not in transition, I'm actually in a full retirement stage. Actually, anything I've read on that would say that you're going to want to find other activities.
Sure.
You're going to, and that's, I mean, how many people do we know that work at Lowe's once they've retired because they want to stay active?
Yep.
They don't need the $15 an hour.
No, but the activity of walking around a huge store,
Right.
lifting up things, and yep.
And answering stupid questions from people like me as why doesn't this work? That keeps their mind active.
Yep.
So, yes, you could flicker forward because if you're able to retire, there's no reason you can't get to a settled-in stage.
Sure.
But you're actually positioned to go south.
Yeah. So is Flickr new? Because I mean, to be honest,
No.
what we talked about seems a lot like mind over matter.
Yeah, and it's all about consciousness. It's about, and the books and articles will make that clear that this isn't necessarily a hugely new concept.
Sure.
But what it does do is, in current aging models, there's an expectation, and that was the interesting thing I read this, is that most of the aging books kind of speak to, at 65 you're going to die. So I mean that's a big component. So we're living longer.
Yep.
And part of living longer is to be healthier so that you're actually living.
Yep.
You're not simply surviving.
Yeah.
So, and that's where flicker comes into play.
Okay.
And no, it's not new, but I'm going to say it's probably new for the last 10 years.
Okay.
This last 10, 15 years is probably when we started talking about, because at that point, before that, it was just, can you survive long enough to get to
retirement,
retire and do a couple of cruises before you die? I mean, how many articles have any of you seen, or even seen it on television, where they talk about police officers, after they, once they retire, how long do they actually live?
Yeah.
If you have an engaged job.
That was one of those things, I think our concern with you retiring and your coworkers is, crap, okay, if you retire, you need to stay active, otherwise, in 90 days?
Yeah, because, that long? Because if you think about it, my life, and I think this is a lot of problem for a lot of IT folks. We get into this. This is our life. This was my hobby for a long time.
It's in your blood.
It was, I did everything with IT. I mean, a lot of the books I read were science fiction, that kind of stuff. This was all in. I may have a fairly large collection of books at home that I read for fun related to information technology.
Maybe.
We should probably get into poor selections of reading book clubs, but that's, those are one of those things that you come into, and that is, in my mind, an important thing for me to consider, and that is where dance helped. Because I was working with a community that was outside of it, and I did try to reach out and find things that were outside of the information technology field.
Sure.
But to me, a lot of this is I want to spend time with my granddaughter and grandson. I mean, I've talked with your wife, and I've talked with you about, and him. So how about robotics with him? Get in some of the engineering stuff. And so I can still take some of that IT stuff and do it with a 7-year-old.
Sure.
And come into play. And that's a part of being settled in, but it's also a part of flickering, because you're spending time with them, but you're actually learning something new.
Sure, yep.
And that's a big part of that. So it's not new.
Okay.
It's about how do we do this, and I could probably do a deep dive on brain chemicals, because one of the problems with having depression, and you tell them, well, I don't need to take the meds anymore because it's not important, and then you end up with a conversation about brain chemicals. With your therapist. Not saying that ever happened for real, but it is one of those things.
Sure.
That you want to do this. The more you can do this, it'd be great. You need to think about flicker as well, because you're changing careers. So you're in many ways going from 40 years old to 25 years old.
And, that's kind of, again, that mindset. When I step into the shop, I have to.
How old are the people that are in your class?
Most of them. And actually, new class just started.
Okay.
This week on Monday, most of them between 18, just out of high school. To 25, 30. I mean. So
you're the only one with gray hair?
I'm not the only one. I don't have gray hair yet. I'm the only one with balding. But
you would have had gray hair if you were balding. Got it.
I'm not that stressed of gray.
But you are. I mean, so this is one of those things, and there are a lot of people out there that do mid-career
100%.
changes.
Yep.
I mean, that'd be an interesting study now that I think about it. How many people change careers now, and has that gone up because so many people have, to be honest, in the study I read is that young adult, actually that adult career starts at 26, not 18. So how many people are actually entered a career and haven't and end up changing their career because they hadn't given enough thought when they jumped in, and now we have more flexibility to change careers.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, be an interesting question. How many people do you know, as you're listening to this, and think about how many folks do you know that have changed careers in their 35 to 45 age grade? And I mean, to be honest, I know people that have changed careers when they're in their 60s.
And has it essentially helped them live longer by changing careers?
Probably. Back. Yeah, because you're going back and forth. That's going to kick off a lot of those things that make you feel younger because you're being more engaged.
Yep.
You know, being engaged is important.
Yeah.
I mean, sitting in a rocking chair, not a good idea for feeling young.
Nope.
So, chair yoga?
So with that, that's we're going to cut it there.
Okay, sounds good. Cool.
Yeah.
I don't get to talk about, how bad is it to walk around barefoot at your home?
No. That was another article I was like,
I ended up. We should just.
your search history is a Squirrel Trail.
Yep.
That one, I was like, how do you get to bare feet from Flicker?
Well, because you follow the process of what does it take to be healthy, and you're staying younger, and then you're running into this article that was on how walking around with bare feet in your house, and you think it's kind of icky, that there's an important part of walking with skin contact on the floor. Those of you that are germaphobes might not agree with that, but make sure the floor is mopped if that's the case. But there's a certain component that keeps your feet healthier when there's not socks or shoes involved. Now, if you're standing for a long time, not so much, but it's a
weird rap. That's it.
It's kind of like, I wonder how that works. Most of my life is driven around, how does that work?
Yeah. Your search history is something else.
Yes.
but with that, let us know what you thought about Flicker and how Flicker has affected your life.
And in all honesty, how do you approach aging? And because we're all going to age, how do we make it better?
Yeah, so with that, comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, you actually said that for once.
I know, right? Until next time, happy trails.
Enjoy, folks. Is that anywhere close to what you wanted?
Sure. I wasn't able to bring up Smurf today.
Yeah, I was about to say, where did that happen?